Well, okay, we're back. And, yeah, pretty much. So, let's take a look at these emails. Your details have been entered into your account. Congratulations, you are an officially rated Uplink agent. We recommend you complete the Uplink test mission before attempting any real work. Okay. Your first stopping off point should be the Uplink internal services system. Once there, log in, click on help, followed by getting started. Good luck. And don't look at this. See this thing I'm pointing at clearly right here? Don't look at that. That's my password. Don't pay any attention to it. See? You see where my mouse, where this little pointer thing is? Don't look there. It's not safe to put those in email. Don't they know anything? So, let's check out our first mission. Payment, 0 credits. Dang, if you want to be a cheapskate about it. Let's see. Gain access to the Uplink test machine by breaking the outer security layer. Access the file server and download the target file Uplink test data. Remove any traces of your hack. Return the data to us at address internal@uplink.net. Okay. Well, first we gotta go to the Uplink internal services system. And I can just click there. And again, don't pay any attention to this code at all. Got it? Don't look at it. Thank you. First, let me show you a bit of the screen. This thing will let you run software applications. I don't really have much at the moment, just a file deleter, file copier, and the tutorial that we won't be bothering because again I already know all of this, thanks to the androgynous, cool, rather obstinate, nifty youngish machine, which is being unusually helpful. Usually it's all, well, rather obstinate. I guess it's concentrating on the nifty part. So this shows the hardware installed in your gateway. Yeah, and we can click View Gateway. It's kind of pathetic, but we will get a better one! Show your memory banks. There's all of this stuff. You know what? I'm gonna, let's rearrange these things. We're gonna copy the file copier and move it here. Then we're gonna copy the file deleter and then move it here. Now if we want to put this someplace, just stop it, we hit Control, click. Like that. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, okay, now we delete this version of the file copier and this version of the file deleter. As you can see, we have defragmented it and stuff. You know, that way we can put stuff here and it won't be fragmented. You see what I mean? Well, if you don't, too bad. So let's check it out. News server. A bunch of stuff we don't care about. Mission list. A bunch of missions we can't do yet and thus don't care about. Software upgrades. Here's something we care about. So this is what we need to get. First, we need to buy the password breaker, which is exactly what it says. It breaks passwords. We also need the trace tracker. Now, unlike the password breaker, there are multiple versions of it. Unfortunately, we can only afford up to version 3. However, version 4 is definitely the best. Always go for the highest version when possible. So, since we're going to upgrade to that anyway, I don't want to waste money by getting version 3 when we're just going to get version 4. So we'll be getting version 2 instead. Now, let me explain how this works. Version 1 tells you if there is no trace detected, if there is a trace, or if the trace is complete. That's nearly useless because you should know how far the trace is to be complete. You have no idea what I'm talking about probably, but don't worry, you will. Version 2 tells you the percentage of trace complete, which is important, which is, actually good. This shows the time remaining before the trace completes, rather than the percentage, which is even better. This one is even better because it will display that, and it'll also display an estimate of the exact time. The way the time remaining before trace works is, well, as you'll see in version 2, each time they get closer, the percentage will change. Version 3 will just change the time whenever the percentage would change on this. So we've got that. We also want the log deleter. This is another case where we definitely want the highest version, version 4. But at the moment, we just gotta go with version 1. So, purchase. Got it. And here are a bunch of hardware upgrades that we can't afford and thus don't care about. This is gateway upgrades which we can't afford and thus don't care about. This is the rankings which... Oh, I'm 103rd? Well, that's no good. I'm going to be number 1. That is my goal. Not only to get, the money for the parts for the time machine, but I will become number 1. It worked out so well for Travis Touchdown, No More Heroes, didn't it? And help, which since I already know all this stuff, I don't care about. But here's it getting started. A bunch of stuff that, again, we don't care about. Yay! Okay, so let's start out things. First, we've got some new things here. Let's take on the trace tracker, which does it track traces or does it trace tracks? I think it tracks traces. Okay, now time for the first hack, but which has nothing to do with NetHack, interestingly enough. So now if we want to connect directly to the place where we are hacking. However, they will attempt to trace us, and if we go right to them, they just go like whoop immediately. So we need to bounce it through several things like this. The one we need to hack into is green, which means it relates to one of the missions we have, thus making it easy to notice. So we'll hit save. So now instead of just going whoop when tracking us, they have to, no, when tracing us, I'm never going to get the hang of that. They have to go like whoop, 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 whoop instead. This will be your first opportunity to hack into a real-world system with real defenses. There's no point in trying to hack a real computer system until you can do the uplink test in your sleep. Good point. I'm going to go to sleep and see if I can do it. Darn it, I've got insomnia. Guess I'll have to do it awake. You will be traced during your attempts, so remember to monitor the communication lines. However, no action will be taken against you should you be traced. Hint! Never connect directly to your target server. Bounce your connection around the world. It will make you much harder to track and give you longer to complete your work. Remember that you will leave logs on the computers you use as relays, which can be traced back to you. Ideally, your connection should use a computer which allows you easy and risk-free log access, so you can erase your tracks without fear of punishment. Well, we'll do that a bit later. So here we go. Start the test. Okay. So, password breaker. Now that we've got that open, we just choose what we want to hack into, like this. You'll notice a trace suddenly started. The password breaker is going slower. Let's increase its CPU. Oh, power to the shields! I mean the password breaker! Rosebud was the password. It was his sled also. Okay, access file server. What do we need to do? Get uplink test data. Okay, easy enough. Go to the memory bank. Go over here. Choose copy. We will copy this file. Let's increase the CPU so it'll copy faster. We copy it here. Now let's get rid of this. Now that it's right here, we could disconnect before doing this, but we've got time, so let's reply to this. Attach the file, and send. Oh, cool. Congratulations on your success. Funds transferred. 0. C. I assume that's credits. And there goes my alarm to show us that we're nearing the end of how long this video can be. So let's delete this. Oh, I have reached the next uplink rating. I am a beginner now. Okay, so now we can disconnect. They haven't traced us, but they can do something called a passive trace, and we'll explain how to deal with that next time.